Second Lady Usha Vance is traveling to Greenland this week. According to the White House, the wife of Vice President J.D. Vance will watch the national dog sled race and, quote, celebrate Greenlandic culture and unity. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz is also expected to visit the island this week. Greenland's prime minister has called the U.S. delegation's trip, quote, highly aggressive after President Trump has vowed to annex the Danish territory. Here's what the president said at today's cabinet meeting.
Well, not provocation. This is friendliness, not provocation. We're dealing with a lot of people from Greenland that would like to see something happen with respect to their being properly protected and properly taken care of. They're calling us, we're not calling them.
CNN senior data reporter Harry Anton joins us now with more. Do Americans, are they into this whole Greenland?
This has got to be one of the most unpopular ideas I've ever heard. You know, I look at the polling day in, day out. The percentage of Americans who are against this, we could throw up on the screen right now. We're looking at about 70% of Americans who say, no, the U.S. should not take over Greenland. That is more Americans who were for the impeachment and removal of Richard Nixon by the end of his presidency. This is uniformly unpopular. Even only half of Republicans support it.
And what do people in Greenland think?
Yeah, what do people in Greenland think? Because I think this is sort of the big question, right? What do people in Greenland think? If you think the American people were against it, take a look at this. We managed to get a poll of the people on the beautiful land of Greenland. And what do Greenlanders think? Look at this no percentage who are against this idea. 85%. Just 6% say yes. To give you an idea of how low 6% is, if you took a poll of Americans and say, do you believe we actually landed on the moon? About 10% of Americans think we faked the moon landing. So fewer Greenlanders are for the U.S. taking over Greenland than Americans who actually believe that we did not land on the moon.
This is not the first time the U.S. has shown interest in purchasing Greenland.
No, this is kind of interesting to me. I kind of thought maybe Donald Trump came up with this idea out of nowhere. But in fact, there have been numerous points in U.S. history where there's some idea that we might take over Greenland. Perhaps most recently back in the 40s, right? Harry S. Truman, after World War II, there was idea for strategic defense because we could fly the planes over the polar regions, much easier to get over to Moscow. And what was interesting was the idea, okay, maybe we'd spend $1 billion to perhaps purchase Greenland from Denmark. But even then, what you see is only 33% of Americans back then were in favor of it. The plurality, 38% no. I have never seen a single poll in which the yeses on us purchasing Greenland was higher than the no's throughout American history.
All right, Harry Anton, you'll keep your eye on it, though.
I am going to keep my eye on it. You know me. I'm a big fan of this story.
Of course. The news continues. The source of the Caitlin Collins starts now. See you tomorrow.